Hi, thank you for joining us here at Parent Like a Professional, PLP. My name is Dr. Eric Meyer, and I'm here with Monica Yanokita. We are going to talk about week 3 potty training. And what we'd like to do is also give you some tips and tricks following week 3, but ideally, if you're here on week 3, you've had a successful first week 1 and week 2. So what do we do next? Monica.
Well, if you have been pretty successful and your child's making progress, maybe about 80–90% of the time they're staying dry or using the toilet successfully. On week 3, you want them to wake up and you want to see if in their pull-up, if they have urinated or not. If they haven't, you want to take them to the potty right away to try to catch that first success in the morning. But if they have, or they have a pretty full diaper or pull-up, then you want to allow them maybe some time off before you put them on the potty. But more or less in week 3, you're going back to a pretty normal schedule, other than wanting them to take them to the restroom about every hour, hour and a half, depending on what you have seen towards the end of the second week.
And ideally, if you're not having a higher success rate in week 2, you might want to do another week 2 rather than starting with week 3. So in your third week, you would still follow the same protocol that you followed in week 2. And then after that week is completed, as Monica was saying, we would try to go back to a more normal schedule, still using some of the same items that you used to encourage your child to potty in the toilet. And whether you're using a child potty seat or you're ready to move on to which I would recommend you continue using a child potty seat. But at some point you're going to want to transition from the potty seat to the regular toilet. And when you feel you're ready for that, or your son or daughter's ready for that, then we would recommend that you go ahead and move forward with that. We do have some tips and tricks that we wanted to talk about as well. Some of the things that you could start in week 1. And so I was talking to Monica and our team about this. Some of the things that we've used with our own children and with our clients that we worked with their kids on potty training is, one of the things that I found very successful is running the water at a very low rate so that they can hear water dripping, not dripping, but running. So it sounds like somebody's urinating. So that tends to help get the process going from my experience. Monica, do you have any other tips and tricks you want to share?
Kind of along that lines too, sometimes having them touch a little warm water is helpful, or kind of sprinkling it on their legs if they're having a long time sitting there and they're kind of withholding it. Sometimes that just helps, relax or feel that water. That is one thing. I think one of my biggest tips and tricks is trying to take some notes on what has worked and what has been successful, and also when they urinate, because that's going to be really helpful to help you progress and move forward, because each child is really different. And so some things are going to come really easy and some things aren't. So knowing what reinforcers work the best, or what they're most excited about, or how long they can really hold their bladder for. For example, my son can only go sometimes like half hour, 45 minutes, even in his older age, whereas my girls could go 3 hours without using the restroom. So knowing your child and taking notes on that, I think, is one of my biggest tips and tricks.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Great tip. We also talked about, when you go into when you finish week 2, making sure that as you transition into week 3, you try to stay as close as you can to the bathroom, making sure that that potty seat is within view so that it's a reminder to use the potty as opposed to pottying in the bathroom. And, I would recommend that at this point, you're no longer wearing diapers. I don't think it's a good idea to wear diapers in week 3, because then you're encouraging, in my opinion, the child to urinate in the diapers. And that's what they've been used to all along. You're going to have some accidents possibly, but, the idea of having the potty seat in view, having them, close enough to the bathroom during the week 3, and keeping them on a schedule, I think is very important. But definitely keeping them off and keeping them out of diapers.
Yeah.
Any other suggestions, Monica?
I think that gets really confusing when they wear the diapers and underwear. So definitely agree with that, keeping them out of the diapers. And bringing the potty seat within view. I was just going to say, one of the things that with my kiddo, my first one, we were always trying to wait and take her to the bathroom, and she was having a lot of accidents that first week. And then we moved the toilet seat into the room where we were playing, and that made all the difference. So just kind of looking at your environment and seeing those little tweaks and taking notes on what's been successful is, really, really helpful. Another thing is once you go into week 3 or even during week 2 and you start going on outings, baby proofing your car seat and taking a portable potty with you is, I think, very helpful. That way it's not as big of a deal, especially when you're going on short car rides. If you can just put a little liner in there, it makes it so much easier for cleanup, and less stressful for the parent, caregiver, and then having a potty seat so you don't have to worry about running across somewhere to get to a bathroom. If possible, keeping a potty seat in your back car is super helpful.
And definitely reminding your kids to use the potty at all ages. It doesn't just happen at the very beginning. It goes through the preteens, teens, into early adulthood. Reminding them before you go in the car or going on a trip to use the restroom before we leave.
Always.
It's a common theme, yeah. That's something that you're gonna be using, for a long time after potty training is done. But yeah, so pouring water, staying close to the bathroom, bringing the potty seat within view, like Monica mentioned, in terms of having the seat within visual, or the potty seat within visual access, and then making sure that when you go out, try to bring the little potty seat with you. I love the recommendation, Monica, of potty proofing your car so that it's easier for cleanup. I remember back when we were potty training our youngest, our daughter, we would open the back of the truck and put her put the potty seat there so that she can use the potty. And there was some privacy there, but it just would crack me up because we would pull over if she requested to use the potty, and she would be sitting there and we're in the back of a truck, like off the highway. So yeah, so I would highly recommend considering these tips and tricks. And again, don't be too quick to jump to week 3 if you haven't really had a lot of success in week 2. Make sure that week 2 you end with a strong Friday or Saturday or Sunday, and then you can move to week 3, which is your normal schedule.
Yeah, and don't give up. I guess that's my last thing. Usually it's just a matter of another day, giving it another chance, and sometimes you might have to scrap the day if it's going poorly, but I think
don't give up.
Don't give up. Yeah. And if it's going weeks and then it's bad, maybe you can take a break, but I would say don't let one day ruin it. So, yep.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us for week 3 and for our tips and tricks. And, go ahead and go to our website or to Instagram if you have any questions. We're more than happy to try to answer as many as we can. Thank you, Monica, for all the tips and tricks, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right. Bye.